My gosh, guys, we're almost there. I cannot believe I've seriously made it in the 20s and have actually successfully uploaded a video each and every day for 20 straight days now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Kitmas Day 20. For this video though, I feel like this is a very highly anticipated topic because I am going to be showing you guys how I depot all of my items. I am not going to be talking about the specific containers that I have for depotting these just because I did cover this all in my Amazon favorites that I posted yesterday, so I'll link it up here. Of course, I will be leaving my Amazon storefront link below so you guys can check it out in the description bar. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do before you even start depotting anything, go ahead and sanitize your hands. You can also use obviously soap and water and everything too, but I am going to go ahead and sanitize my hands really well. I just had a wedding yesterday, so a whole bunch of my stuff is actually empty, so this gives me like the perfect time to refill everything. So what I'm going to do first is show you guys all the little bottles that I carry. Again, not going to be going over them specifically, but these are all from the Artist Kit Company. I just feel like having things in spray bottles like this is going to save you a ton of space, especially when some of these are like full-fledged bottles of things. Like this is the Face Atelier setting spray that I have right now, and this is the bottle that I carry it in now. Like look at the size difference between the two of them. And you're also saving a lot of weight too. So this is the spray here and I just labeled it set. Then this one is my W for water. And then these two are both alcohol bottles, which I labeled A, because unfortunately these are so small. So if you have more than like 6 people per se, they usually run out pretty quickly and I don't ever want to run out of alcohol on set. So I usually have to bring 2 of them, but I'd rather carry 2 smaller ones and have like a giant bottle that I have to bring with me. This one is completely empty. So I'm going to go ahead and refill this one. Then this is my bottle of 70% alcohol that I carry with me. And I kind of just cheat and then just start spraying it like that inside of the bottle. And then I'll just cap it back up. The other option you could do with it is use a funnel. So you could use something like this, put it on the top and you just pour in the liquid through the top and then it just funnels into the container. So that also makes it a little bit easier too. These funnels came with some of these containers that I got. I think they all came with these little bottles, I want to say. So with this rose toner, the easiest way that I've found to refill this is just by using a little dropper. I'm going to unscrew the top, and I hate picking up all the little rose petals inside of here because it ends up just clogging up the container. So I'll just fill it up and then just drop it in like that. But if you wanted to use the funnel, all you do is just stick it in the container like this and then just pour it in. And as you can tell, when you lift it out, that also fills it up too. So either method works though, but that's probably the easiest way to fill these up. I just like to have all my stuff depotted into these little jars because it saves you a lot of space. And again, these are plastic lightweight containers, so you're also not having a ton of weight involved either. Then I also keep some of my skincare items inside of these things. So these are all individual 3-gram jars. And then I ended up Gorilla Gluing them all together and then just putting them in these stacks. So they're really just lightweight and compact together. This is an eye cream, this is a lip mask, then you have a lip scrub, and this is a random one, which is a brow gel. I just didn't know what else to do with it. All you have to do to access each one of them is just unscrew it. And then you can see the product, and then you just have to seal it back up, and that's about it. It's just lightweight and compact. Then I did the same thing for my eye pigments. Now these are all loose shimmers or loose pigments that I decided to put in one stack, and this way they're all together. They're very airtight, so they're not going to spill all over the place. All of the containers would be about this big, and you're just taking up a ton of space. That's pretty much the main idea of condensing things, is just because you want it to be as condensed as possible. The next thing I want to go over is the powder containers that I keep. I just keep them inside of these little sifter containers. This is a Huda Beauty pound cake one, but they did not have any more of these and they're back stocked online too. I want to make a separate container for this one, which is the One Size Beauty powder. So I have a empty one here, and I'll show you guys how I refill these, or how I make these, I guess. There is a tab right here that you want to stick your finger under. And as you can hear, it just pops right off. And then that is how you're going to refill these. This is just a travel size one. Then I want to unscrew this, take the little plastic thing off the top, like this. Now, sometimes you do get powder jars that you can actually separate this lining with the outside of the container, but it looks like this one's actually meshed down pretty well. So what I'm gonna do in this case is I'm gonna go ahead and take a palette that I've sanitized, and then I'm just gonna dump this onto here. So that is all I'm gonna do. You can also dump it in the cap if you want to as well, but just to maintain hygienic procedures, I wanna go ahead and dump it. So then once you have enough out of here, then all I'm gonna do is just start scooping this inside of this. Okay, so we are almost done now. Okay, and you pretty much wanna stop it like right where this lip is, otherwise the top won't go on because it has a little bit of like an indentation. So then all you're gonna do is put it back on there. I usually take a little Kleenex and just wipe it off really quickly because there will be like a little bit of powder on the outside. Then I'm just gonna put this top back on like this. Then I'm just gonna label it on the top. This is my label maker that I have. It's just a Dymo brand handheld label maker. I labeled it like this. I just said one size TRS, which is translucent. And then I'm just gonna hit print on here. Then I hit the side to cut it. And having a label maker, to be totally honest, is something that's greatly needed. I know that some people just do it by hand, but it makes it so much neater if you can just have it on a label. And these label makers are not that expensive. I think they're only like $20 or something. And it lasts you a really long time. And then all you have to do is refill the labels. But again, they last like a pretty decent amount of time too. So I just cut them up to make them a little bit smaller. And then I'll just stick them right on the outside of the lid. And so when I put it down inside of my kit, I can easily tell what it is. Now I gotta get this mess cleaned up for a minute. Then the next thing I always get questions about is how I get my lipsticks into these palettes. And how this works is you can do this one of two ways. So I have a bunch of lipsticks that I need to refill in here. As you guys can tell, like some of these are completely empty. So I'm gonna show you guys how I refill them and then also how I do a brand new lipstick bullet and put them into here. So what I like to do is take a little spatula. These are from the Artist Kit Company, by the way. If you guys wanna know specifically what colors I have inside of here, I made a whole entire video for the 25 days of Kitmas. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out these individual little pans and scoop them out. The Artist Kit Company also does have a spatula that they sell that's magnetic, so you can just like stick it to the side of the pans too, and it comes out a little bit easier. If you can tell, this one's missing a little bit on the top here. And this one is the Sephora Lip Stories one. I have twisted it up and then I've just taken my spatula and just dipped out of it like this. And then I'm just gonna take this and just put it right on top there. And that is how I refill the ones that I have. And then if I find that I need to clean off the palette, I will too. And I'll just do that with a clean tissue, or you can also use Q-tips. And then this one needs to be refilled too. And this is another Sephora Lip Stories one. And again, just scraping it off here. Now, the only reason I do this method instead of completely pulling them out of their tubes is because the Artist Kit Company palettes that I use right now do not fit an entire tube of lipstick. So I have to do it kind of like gradually. And then I just want to clean up the excess on the sides. Then this one right here is a Essence lipstick. I don't know how much in depth you guys want to see with this, but this hopefully will give you at least ideas of ways to depot your stuff if you guys haven't thought about it yet. But I figured I might as well show the entire process too for people that this is extremely new to them. So then that one is as filled as it can possibly be. And then I have this lip palette that obviously these two are empty, but I don't have a replacement for one of them. But I just bought a MAC lipstick that is going to go in replace of this one. So this one right here was an older MAC lipstick, and I want to completely get that one out. And then I'm gonna put this one in its place, which is Sin. That will be the new replacement. So what I wanna do with this is you can either use Q-tips to get this out completely. I'm just gonna use a tissue for right now and see how much I can actually get out. And this gets kind of messy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking a little disinfectant wipe. These are just the Lysol wipes that I have. Cleaning myself off, and then I'm also going in here and then cleaning everything off. Then for the little things that I can't get out in the corners, I'm gonna take a Q-tip, spray a little bit of alcohol in here. Then I'm just gonna go right in the corners. And as you can tell, it's removing some of the lipstick that was still stuck in there. Then I'm just gonna let this air dry for a minute, but as you can tell, it is completely clean now. I also got these pans from the Artist Kit Company, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. and they're meant to just like go inside these palettes. So then after that is more dry. I'm gonna take this MAC lipstick. Also, for those people that have containers that like are the view sets, for instance, that are big enough to hold like an entire tube of lipstick, the easiest way, instead of having to scrape them out, by twisting them all the way up. And you might be able to do this with something other than MAC lipsticks, but I did figure out the secret when I worked for MAC specifically. So what you wanna do is you want to take a tissue, twist this all the way up, grab it around the base, and then you slowly just wanna twist. Like, and wiggle it back and forth. And you can actually get out the entire tube of lipstick. So there's nothing in there. But since I don't need the whole entire thing, I'm just gonna put it back in the tube. But I will show you guys the method. So what you wanna do is take off a little bit of this, like this, like that. And just mash it up completely just so there's no chunks inside of it. And this is like the easiest method that I've found, at least, to get the lipstick to the consistency that you want it to be able to put it in the palette. So then after that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it up and then put it right inside of the pan. And yeah, that is pretty much how depotting the lipstick works. I'm gonna wipe that off, twist this back down, clean off the outside of the tube, and then all I'm gonna do is start cleaning off the outside of this pan. Yep, and then now we have a nice little lipstick inside of this pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in here. Put this one here. And yeah, that's what I do as far as doing a brand new lipstick. I'm just gonna clean off this really quickly. Then something else I wanted to show you guys here is I have depotted all my MAC paint pots. As you guys know, these things can come in very heavy glass jars. I just bought a new one. It's Vintage Selection. It's just a shimmery kind of shade. So yeah, instead of carrying like a bunch of these around, I have them depotted into this little View Set Seneca palette. Problem is though, this is not airtight. None of the View Sets are, or nor do they claim to be. So sometimes these cream products can dry out. If you can tell, they have like little cracks inside of them. And in that case, I use the Inglot Duraline, which is right here. And this basically rehydrates any of your cream products and revitalizes them. So I'm just gonna drop one drop on there. Then what I'm gonna do is go in with a spatula and just start mixing it back in. And then as you can see, it kind of is starting to rehydrate it. I mean, you can completely remove it and then put it back in if you wanted to, but I usually just do it like in the jar. But yeah, that's pretty much the best it's going to get. And this is where all my little Q-tips come in. So I'm gonna take Q-tips and just clean up around the edges of them, just so it looks a little bit more neat. See? Like that. So now your edges look a little bit more clean. So that is what I'm gonna do really quickly for the rest of these. And again, you don't need that much of the Inglot Duraline at all. Like, don't overuse it, otherwise it almost becomes like too liquidy. It does not take much, so if you have not gotten the Inglot Duraline, get it, because it will greatly improve quality of the products that you have and also be able to help you maintain them a little bit better. And you can do this with like any of these cream products too. Like I used to carry around the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomades, and those things dried out all the time, even in their own containers, which is kind of weird. So I usually had the Inglot Duraline for that reason. And then now I kind of just use them on the paint pots, because these are the only things that really like consistently dry out in my kit. And I think I'm gonna do this one before I start cleaning up the edges. This dark brown one is like the worst. I also use it the most too, so it probably just gets that much more air on it. And now that I've done that, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it up with my Q-tips. Now for the Vintage Selection one, I'm gonna put it right next to this one here. And then it's just going right in here. Sorry, my husband was like choking on whatever he was drinking and I had to go check on him. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, let me just finish putting this back in. Yeah, this is like the cutest container. I don't need to fill it all the way up. Close the paint pot, and then that is what I do for it. I do have these memorized, like I know what all these are, but if you guys don't know, you can put labels on the back of them if you want to. Then I just wanted to give these an honorable mention. I'm not going to show you guys how I actually depot these because I included that in one of the Kitmas series. I'll go ahead and link it up above for you guys, but I showed you guys an example of how I repressed all of these. So these are all the Senna brow powders that I repressed and put them inside of this palette. That is what it looks like, and they're just nice and compact, so I don't have to carry around like the entire brow book. And then I did the same thing with all my eyeshadows. So these are all of the matte eyeshadows that I carry, and I repressed all of those. Then these ones are all the shimmer ones that I carry. And then this is all my cream contours. I put them in the same type of palette that I did for the eyeshadows, except for, as you can tell, all of these are creams. So I did the same method as I do with lipsticks and everything. I usually just scoop them out with my spatula and put them into here in these pans. So I did this mainly to save a lot of space. Then the last thing I wanted to go into with you guys is how I depot the Too Faced Born This Way concealers. I have a brand new one that looks like this. It's the light beige shade. And I don't need to refill this one completely. I just wanted to show you guys really quickly how I would do it. This is how it looks. And as you guys can tell, these bottles are super, super tiny. Like the mouth of them are not that big at all. And everybody is like, okay, how do you get these like depotted? So I can't figure out how to get the stopper out of these, but apparently there is some sort of device you can use to get the stoppers out. But as of now, I will seriously just go like this, scrape it out onto the nozzle, and then I'll seriously just keep hitting it with my hand until it goes down into the side of the tube. And yes, I spent hours doing this, I'm not gonna lie. And I'll go ahead and link that little stopper removal device that another person on my YouTube channel recommended. I have not used them personally, but they kind of look like bottle openers a little bit. And apparently they get the stoppers out of these bottles pretty easily, so you guys don't have to sit here like this and do this, because it is very time consuming. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got the Too Faced concealers inside of this container, just with a lot of perseverance and patience. Then with the foundation bottles, they're pretty easy to do, because all I do with these is I'll just pump them into here at the top, and then I'll hit those as well, just so they go all the way into the container. So then once I am all almost full at the top, I'll go ahead and take a little disinfectant wipe and then just remove it on the top, or like any excess product. And then I'll go ahead and cap it back up and then just store it. And then just a really quick overview, this is what the kit looks like. So as you can tell, this is where all the skincare containers came in. Like, this is seriously super compact. Like, all my skincare fits right here. Then I depotted all my foundations into like these little jars. And then all of these are the brow powders, and then all these are the lipstick containers. These are all the powder jars, and all of these are the repressed shadows that I have. So yeah, that is about it. That's how I depot literally all my stuff inside of my kit. So if you guys have any questions in addition to what I already covered in here, definitely go ahead and leave those down below. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If you guys did, definitely go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, as well as also subscribing down below to my channel. Also, don't forget to turn on your post notifications, because I will be uploading for the next 5 days up until Christmas. So definitely go ahead and turn on those notifications. As always, I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye.